Morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. So, really quickly, let me give an announcement to the Winner Circle people. So, I see 70 of you guys in here right now. So, what Judd needs right now is you guys resumes, your updated resumes, and your capstone, right? So, the capstone event, you got to have it done by today at 3 o'clock, right? So we can get that stuff turned in. So just the Winner Circle people, make sure you do that. So the Zero to Hero program people, hey, I got 11 of you guys in here right now. If you're watching this during the live session, or if you're watching it doing a replay, just make sure that you got access to the Discord. The Discord is going to be the only place where the live session link is going to be located, right? So let's get straight into it. Let's not waste any time at all. Today we're going to talk about social engineering, right? So social engineering is a fancy word for people trying to hack into your system, people trying to get information from you that you don't want them to have, right? So social engineering is what we're going to talk about. But as always, we got to have some housekeeping notes, right? So all of these live sessions are uploaded within 72 hours. Usually they're uploaded the same day, right? So we upload this stuff and you guys can, since we've been doing the live sessions, you can go all the way back to the first one. We got almost 50 to 60 hours of content on there for you guys to go through. Next up, make sure that you got access to everything. So make sure that you got access to these lives, make sure that you got access to the Facebook group, Discord, and the student resources drive. If you got a question, hold off until the end if possible, please. And also remember that these sessions are supplementary to the stuff that's in the program, right? So if you're in the Winner Circle, rock out with that. That's the greatest place for you to achieve success. If you're in the Zero to Hero program, rock out there. That's the best place for you to achieve success. So these live sessions are to take away any excuse that you could possibly have. Oh, I need live training. Well, here it is. So shut up and win, right? So just make sure that you go through this stuff and you'll be good. All right. So as always, today is Monday. Make sure that you are grateful that you woke up. Make sure that you're grateful. You know, if you passed the cert, if you got a job, if you got a raise, if you paid off a car, if you lost weight, if you made your bed, just anything that would make you proud of yourself, you know, focus on that stuff to go through the week and, you know, feel good about yourself, so on and so forth, right? So just make sure that you're feeling good. Make sure that you are doing what you need to do just to make sure that, like I said, that you're starting off the week in the right way, right? So, anybody want to share a win that they got? Anybody want to share a win? I'm gonna stop picking on you guys, stop picking out people. Does anybody want to share a win that they have? LaCora, hand is raised. You can unmute your microphone and tell us what's going on.
So I'm excited because I passed my my first CompTIA exam.
What?
Yeah, it wasn't like I thought it was gonna be, but I'm mad at myself because I didn't get through most of the live videos. I watched them after.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the questions that I had on the exam you had discussed in the live sessions. So if anyone's going to take the first CompTIA exam, I suggest you watch the first couple of live videos along with the modules, and that will help.
Perfect. So when you say that it wasn't like you thought it was going to be, dive into that a little bit more. What you mean?
I guess I was thinking it was going to be more like the A+, because now I'm in the A+ module.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I thought it was going to be more like that with the diagrams and questions, like how you're breaking it down, talking about the M2 and the motherboard and all that. I guess I was thinking it was going to be more like that.
Okay, got you.
But I'm glad it wasn't. I mean, it was some the abbreviations on there, so I'm glad you you were like telling us to study those, because some of the questions, like it would ask you a question and then all of your answer choices were just acronyms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that is a good thing to know. I
So,
kept hearing people say that, so I was like, yeah, if you don't know those acronyms, you kind of screwed over.
so was it easier, harder, or what do you think than you thought it was going to be?
It was easier than I thought.
Perfect. Good, 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 good. So, before you click submit, you already know you passed or no?
Say that again.
Before you click submit on the actual exam, you already knew you passed or no?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes.
Perfect. Perfecto. So I'm proud of you. Move on to the next one. So anybody else got any good news? Anybody do anything awesome at all? Okay, we got somebody else?
Yeah, I also passed the ITF Plus.
What? All right. So how was that experience?
It felt good. It gave me more confidence in what I'm doing and why I'm here.
Yes, sir. Good, 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 good. All right. So I'm proud of you guys. And the reason that an ITF Plus is in there, honestly, for sure, is to get some of that fundamental stuff out the way. But it's a confidence booster, right? So I just want to make sure that you guys are confident. The main objective has to be A plus though, right? So A plus is going to be the first certification that's actually going to get you employment opportunities, right? So what I've found is when students pass ITF plus, they pass A plus at, a much higher rate. So just make sure you get focused on that. And just as a vote of confidence, I just had 2 students land jobs just with the A plus. They're still in the program, they're still rocking out, and they got both of them got jobs. One of them is in DC, the other one is in Colorado or somewhere, I can't remember. But they got jobs with A plus with the opportunity and the possibility of moving up. So just make sure that y'all guys knock out A plus, and hopefully the goal is that once you guys get done with the Zero to IT Hero program, you can join these Winner Circle people, just so we can actually get you one of those 6-figure jobs, possibly. But right now we're gonna focus on getting these damn pieces of paper. Okay, so glad you guys passed. Let's make sure that we keep on doing what we need to do. And another thing, I got another student. I keep on our schedule just won't line up. He used to be in infantry. He used to be a soldier, blowing stuff up, shooting at people and stuff like that. And now he's an IT director. I was supposed to interview him Friday, I think, but my whole house got sick and a bunch of other stuff happened, so I couldn't do it. But eventually, hopefully, because what I want to do, or what I'm going to do, is have people come on here at least once a month, probably starting in September or October, just to talk to you guys, just so you can kind of hear from somebody other than me. All right, so let's talk about this stuff. So social engineering, right? Social engineering is very prevalent. Anybody can do it. Some people are a little bit better at it than others. So it's pretty much persuading people to give up information that can be used against them at a later time, right? So there's a couple different versions, or a couple different methods, a couple of different ways to extract information from people, right? So a few of the big ones that's going to come up on the exam, the first couple of times you'll see it, maybe on ITF plus, but for sure you'll see it on A plus, then again on that plus, and then for sure on security plus, right? So the first one we're going to talk about is phishing. So phishing, long story short, kind of throws out a net and hopefully catches anybody, right? Catches anybody. So this can be done through a email. This could be done in person. So for example, and an email could be, hey, your bank account got locked out. We need you to send your username and password to this email address to ensure that your funds are available when you need them. Now, if you're a dummy, you'll send that information to that person and boom, you just got caught in a phishing attack, right? So unfortunately, gang, a lot of you guys' information is out on the internet, right? Hopefully, it's just surface level stuff, but some people's information is either on the regular web or the dark web for sale. And an email list is something that can be valuable in the wrong hands, right? So I got an email list of 10,000 people. I send it to those 10,000 people. All I need is 5 or 6 people to say yes for me to get, 10, 20, 30, $1 million, depending on who the email list is, right? So phishing, long story short, is sending out a mass email, a mass message to a lot of people, hoping that somebody says something in regards to you being able to steal their identity, giving up some passwords, giving up some type of information that you can use, credit card information, that type of stuff, for a malicious person to use against that person, right? Now, phishing is like a net, right? So a net, real simple. Whatever fish I catch, great. Now, spear phishing is the same thing, but I want to go after you. I want to go after this organization. I want to go after a specific target, right? So that's what spear phishing is. So when you look at the difference, phishing is everybody, spear phishing is somebody, right? So spear phishing is going to be a targeted attack on a specific organization or group, right? Now, one of the things I didn't put on here is something called whaling, just like a whale, like Shamu. I don't even know if Shamu is still a thing, but like a whale, right? Like a killer whale, like Free Willy. I don't know if these damn references are too old for you guys or what, but anyway, a big ass fish, a whale. So whaling basically means that you want to go after a big target, right? So instead of going after the front desk people, you want to go after the CEO, right? So whaling is usually spear phishing on steroids, right? So instead of going for this specific person, I want to go for the biggest person at that organization, right? But let's just stay focused on this. So that should be pretty simple for you guys to understand. Phishing is a net, and then spear phishing is literally a spear, right? So I just want to catch this person. I just want to catch this organization slipping up. Now, impersonation is pretty simple. It just means that you impersonate another person. You may have their login credentials. You may have their ID badge. You may have their username and password. You may have their picture. A lot of times impersonation works best when you call somebody over the phone. You say, hey, this is Tom from IT. We just had an alert. I need you to give me your username and password just to make sure that everything is okay. Who is this? Where are you from? Oh yeah, this is Tom down from IT. I already talked with your boss. We need to hurry up and do this before everything gets shut down, blah, blah, blah. And then if you're a dummy, you'll go ahead and give that information to a person, right? So impersonation literally means that you're impersonating somebody else, right? And you hope that you run into somebody that not going to do their due diligence, not going to ask you questions, not going to do what they're supposed to do on their end to verify who you are, right? So once you guys get into the position that you all deserve, when you become the boss of all bosses, you will already know that you need to verify who somebody is before anything happens, right? You got to verify who somebody is before you make any type of actions. Okay, the whole network's going to blow up if you don't hurry up. Okay, fine. Where are you from? Who are you? And you got to, double check and triple check. Because if you do give them authority, right, it's going to be on you. They're going to fire you. And then you might even get in trouble because if the hacker is savvy, if the hacker is smart, what I would do, I would say, yeah, and that guy was in on it too. He was he was the lane reader. He was the one, that set up the play. So just make sure that you put everything in place just to make sure that you verify who everybody is. And then, an easy way to verify stuff is just knowing your chain of command, knowing your leadership ladder, so on and so forth. Okay, who's in finance? Who works in there? Who's in HR? So on and so forth. So somebody come and say, yeah, I'm Jerry from accounting. Like, we don't have a Jerry in accounting, right? All right, so another easy thing, and this can happen a lot, especially now with how big phones are, is shoulder surfing. So basically, you're on the subway, you're on the bus, you're on the plane, you're sitting waiting for your coffee at Starbucks, and somebody's literally looking over your shoulder, looking at what you're doing, right? And a lot of times what they're trying to do is see what account you have. Hopefully you log into your account, but most importantly, especially nowadays, they're trying to see what your phone password is or what your laptop password is, right? Because they don't need really the passwords to the other stuff because most people stay logged into everything anyway. So if they get the actual password to the device, that's all they need. So if they, looking over your shoulder you got the screen lock on, you want to unlock it, the password is 12345 or whatever it is, right? They'll have that in place. So the easiest way to prevent shoulder surfing is one, check your surroundings, and two, they have privacy screens for cell phones. They got privacy screens for laptops. So the privacy screen is usually, you can find one at doctor's office. Usually, because the doctor has to kind of put the screen directly towards you for you to see it. If you're looking off to the side, you can't really see it. So the privacy screen pretty much obscures somebody from being able to look at it unless they're straight on it, right? The next thing, tailgating. So tailgating, a super short version or definition would basically be, let's say you stay in an apartment building, right? And this apartment building has a buzz code or an RFID badge that you got to swipe, or just some way that you have to, verify that you are who you are, or that you got authorization to go into that building, right? So I swipe my key card, it opens up the door. Somebody's running in the parking lot. Wait, hold the door. And they come in behind me, right? So that's tailgating, right? That can happen in a server room. That can happen at a business. That can happen at an apartment building, right? Now, it may come off as, being a jerk or whatever, or just being mean. But a lot of you got to say, hey, sorry, man. Especially that's one of the things that's crazy to me, especially if you live somewhere. Nah, that person, if you ain't never seen this person before, if you don't know who this person is, and you say, oh yeah, you can come on. No, I don't know what to tell you. You got to call management, but you can't come in here. You live there. You may be putting yourself in danger. You may be putting somebody else in danger. And same thing with a job, right? If they don't have authority to come in there, they shouldn't be coming in there. And then, like I said, that may have implications down the line, depending on what's going on, especially with a lot of stuff that may be going on in the world today. You want to make sure before you let anybody come into your residence, your place of employment, wherever you go, or you want to make sure that they are who they say they are and they're not trying to do anything weird, right? So last thing, dumpster diving. Believe it or not, this is still super effective. I've never dove in nobody's dumpster, but if you have, it's only a few articles that people need to do something weird with your identity. You've got bills in there. You may have, banking information in there. You may have old social security card in there. You may have old credit cards in there. There's enough information in there for somebody to replicate your identity, steal your identity, right? So you want to make sure that you're shredding all of your bills, whether it's junk mail, whether it's real bills, whatever it is. If you throw something in the trash, you need to shred it before you put it in there, right? If you don't have a shredder, just rip it up, and find pieces. You don't have to buy a shredder specifically, but don't be putting whole pieces of mail into your dumpster, right? It's not a good idea. Somebody will get you. So just like this thing says, no matter how secure an organization may be, it can be brought down quite easily with anyone who has loose lips. Okay, so social engineering, right? So this quick little video is going to show how easy it is for a hacker just on the phone calling somebody to pretty much hack into an organization. So let's watch this quick video and then we'll get straight back to it.
What do you think of when I say the word hacker? Some creepy dude in a basement? Well, that's a misconception. What if I told you there's a class of hackers who don't just have social skills? They have more social intelligence than anyone you'll ever meet. David Kennedy is one of them. He's what's known as a social engineer, or a people hacker. His craft is to dupe you into doing things and sharing information you probably shouldn't.
Can I just get your credit card number?
Some use it for illegal activity. In David's case, companies pay him to find out if employees are leaving the company vulnerable. He and his team show us how it's done. Step 1, spoof his number so it looks like he's calling from inside the company, and then call tech support.
Hello, you there? Hello?
Hi, it's Ken. How may I help you?
I was wondering if you can take a look at a website I'm trying to get to. It's for a big customer thing I'm working on for Monday, and I can't seem to get to the website from my computer.
Sure. What's the website? I'll see if I can get to it.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate the help. I mean, it could be a stupid thing. I'm really suck at computers, but so it's www.survey. That's survey -pro.com,
Yeah, I got that prompt to open. I just clicked open and I'm at the site now.
Here's what the IT guy doesn't realize. By clicking that link, he's just given David full access to his computer.
Whoa, okay, that's weird. I just hit it and it works. It seems like it's working fine now. Awesome. I don't know what you did, man, but I really appreciate the help.
Hey, no problem. That was easy.
That was it?
We're on this computer right now.
You were able to take over this guy's computer within, I would say, like under 2 minutes.
Under 2 minutes, yeah. Under 2 minutes, took over his entire computer, and think of it as not just his computer, but it's pretty much a downfall of the entire company.
In this case, the company was paying David to hack them and see if...
Boom. So, as you can see, just being nice, just being friendly, dropping a joke or two, you can get into somebody's laptop, get into an organization's network, right? So just like this news article said, or this news video said, so a company paid him, right? So he would be known as a white hat, white hat hacker, right? So meaning that they pretty much gave him permission, like, hey man, can you hack our organization? Can you test our employees to see where our weaknesses are and what our strong suits are, right? So most likely that guy got written up. So because he pretty much, it was just too easy. He didn't verify who the guy was, none of that stuff. He just, okay, well, yeah, I'll do it, so on and so forth, right? So there's pretty much layers to defense, right? You want to make sure that you have layers, whether it's software, whether it's hardware, whether it's physical, whether it's digital. But one of the main breakdowns when it comes to any type of security is the human element, right? So with your employees, with your coworkers, with people that are using the systems and stuff, that is one of the biggest shortcomings or biggest failures, because it doesn't matter how good your security system is if that employee is already inside the system. That person's already inside the network. They're already past all of those security measures anyway, right? So with a click or two, he completely took over this guy's computer and can literally do whatever he wants to, right? And that guy was working in IT, right? He was in IT. He should know better than this, right? Good news is you guys would never do anything like this, but it's really, really easy to get in trouble, to do the wrong thing. So to prevent all this stuff is just real simple. Verify who the person is. If you can't verify or don't know what to do, it's always somebody going to be above you, somebody else to talk to. So just make sure that you tap in with them. Just say, hey man, I don't know what to do. I don't know if this guy's who he say he is. What can I do? What should I do? Right? Instead of, having to learn the hard way by messing something up and maybe getting fired or getting in trouble. So, all right. So what's the best way to prevent social engineering? What's the best way to prevent social engineering? A better way to say this probably would be, what's the best way to react to social engineering, or what's the best way to be proactive when it comes to social engineering? And you guys already know you have to train your users, right? You got to train your users so they know what to do, how to do it, who to talk to, what's the next step, so on and so forth. Because if they don't know, it's going to be all bad, right? It could be really, really, really bad for an organization. And even if it's a honest mistake, that can still lead to millions of people getting their identity stolen, millions of data getting erased, millions of dollars having to be spent to recover stuff. So you just go out and make sure that you always train your users and train the people in IT department to know how to respond to incidents as well. All right, so quick quiz. What social engineering attack is described below? It targets specific persons, steals sensitive info, hard to prevent, and effective over phone and email. What social engineering attack would that be? You guys already know, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, that it would be spear phishing, right? So how do we know that? Specific targets. So regular phishing wants everybody, spear phishing wants somebody, right? All right, so true or false? Dumpster diving is no longer a major concern due to data moving to a more digital form. Is that true or is that false? So we ain't got to worry about shredding stuff, tearing stuff up. Everybody moves to digital. That is false, right? Now, not too long ago, the Department of Veteran Affairs actually got in trouble for this, because I can't remember what hospital it was, but they were literally just throwing away people's medical records, right? Like either the person died or some of the people still alive, or they didn't know what the hell to do with them, or they moved to another hospital, and they were just throwing, like, it was like a bunch, tons and tons and tons of medical records just in a damn dumpster, right? And a bunch of those people unfortunately got their identity stolen. A bunch of bad stuff happened. A bunch of people got in trouble. And that's one thing that, you know, as far as HIPAA is concerned, as far as medical records are concerned, it's a process that you got to follow. You can't just throw people, you know, stuff in the trash because your social security number is on there, your birth date, your name. You know, if you got any diseases, all that type of stuff, you know, all that stuff is in your medical records, and, you know, only you and your doctor should know that stuff. So they just was throwing them in the dumpster. Craziness, man. So what are some of the ways social engineering can be performed? What are some of the ways social engineering can be performed? We kind of beat this to death. So you can do it through email, you can do it in person, you can do it through text, you can do it. Oh, another big one now is definitely through social media, right? Social media, there's a bunch of social engineering. There's a bunch of people falling for scams. You know, I can turn $50 into $500. You know, give me $500, I'll give you $1,000 worth of Bitcoin. You know, believe it or not, there's more than you would think. There's way more people than you would think falling for that stuff. So social engineering can be performed in a bunch of different ways. And one of the most effective ways is actually in person, right? Because most people have a trust in nature. Most people think that, you know, people won't lie to them, won't tell them something crazy. And if they don't have the right training, just a regular conversation can be pretty much just an interview for the hacker, right? So they can say, hey, where do you work at? Okay, what are your hours? Okay, what do you have access to? Oh, how does that work? How's your boss? You know, and they pretty much, you know, it seems like it's just regular conversation, but, you know, they're actually taking as much information as possible from you to either take your position or take over an organization or implement an attack, so on and so forth, just to get as much information as possible from the source, right? Here's some homework for you guys, because this is going to be something that is definitely going to happen in your career, in your lifetime. So, you know, just think about it, you know, explain in your own words how you would prevent social engineering. Like, not just, oh, okay, I would train users on what? What would you train them on? What would you do? What would that look like? What would it prevent? And most importantly, how would you present that to your boss or your supervisor, right? Because believe it or not, this seems like it's cut and dry. Seems like it's pretty damn simple. Like, oh, everybody want to do this. But when it comes to IT, when it comes to business in general, there's different budgets, right? And if it don't fit in the budget, if you don't have, you know, a good use case, if you don't have a good reason, they'll probably be like, I don't know about this social engineering thing. I don't think it's a big deal until, you know, things go left. So that's the main thing. Just kind of come up with, okay, this is what my plan would be. This is what it would prevent, and pretty much what you would actually say to your boss, to your supervisor, to actually have them implement whatever you're talking about, whatever that user training would be, whatever you think will work best. That would pretty much be what you would do to tell them, hey, or convince them, hey, man, this social engineering thing is pretty important. It's pretty prevalent. We're pretty susceptible to this stuff. This is what I think we should do to prevent it, right? So, as always, I gave you a bunch of value in 30 minutes. That's all it took. So, gang, Winner Circle people, please stay back. Probably need about 15 minutes just to go through each one of you guys' stuff. Zero to Hero people, anybody got anything, any questions, comments, concerns, anything at all? Going once, going twice. That's it. That's all. Y'all have an awesome day. And other than that, I'm going to see you guys in class.